Thank you very much for the instructions. Very clear, well received. I was hoping to spend about 20 minutes with you, but I don't think that's going to be possible. So I'll very quickly reiterate what University of Southampton is doing. Professor Eloise Phillips yesterday talked about it. We obviously have MSc-based programs, we have MEng programs, we have BEng programs. In AI, we cover machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, robotics. And of course, there's a lot of practical lab projects, providing a lot of different kinds of software which university requires for the right kind of learning, interdisciplinary learning. We have AI-powered academic tools supported by integrity policies. Now, that's an issue. At the very last moment, I was sitting over there. I was trying to, generative AI failed me. I was asking, can you give me a nice meme on AI in education? It just gave me a very old meme, which essentially was a teacher, sweating profusely, telling the students not to use AI when that person uses it every day. So that is the only meme that they could give me. But I think we are very strong and very careful on the responsible AI piece, because that's something we believe is required from both sides, whether it's the students, whether it's the faculty. And of course, in the UK, and something that we intend to extend in India with Dame Wendy Hall, is this $31 million UK project, which is about responsible AI. Now, I think the bigger issue, and something that Professor Deepak Srivastav, he highlighted, was this idea of B school, D school. I think from my perspective, it's important for us to also look at this whole idea of U school, which is this idea of a school based within a university, which has a very natural, what I would call as a strength or a fundamental platform to then engage in the kind of learning that we would like people to do at this juncture. So why am I saying that? I'm saying that because obviously in the Indian context, you have standalone institutions, you have schools of management within institutions, within universities, and of course you have different forms. You have the MBA, you have the PGDM, and of course this creates a merry mix of different approaches, different levels, and of course different outcomes. That, I believe, is the biggest challenge. That, I believe, is the biggest challenge in terms of trying to create a standardized approach to what the world needs at this moment of time. Why do I say this? I've worked in institutions that are 5, 8 years in their existence. I've worked in institutions right before this, 45-year-old in their institution. Now I work in a 0 to 1 institution, right? I think fundamentally there are few elements that kind of stop us from achieving or optimizing what is currently there on the wall right now. One of this, I think, is faculty readiness and skills gap. Now, that's something we'll all have to be able to look at, whether it's standalone, whether it's schools of management within universities, right? I guess a lot of institutions of repute in the country, in India, are essentially, a lot of them can be standalone, some of them are universities as well. But I think the bigger issue, and in this case, the fundamental thing that may slow us down being able to ensure that we are aligned with the career outcomes and the industry expectations from us will be our ability to create a readiness within the faculty in terms of the training, in terms of the whole orientation, in terms of ensuring we are able to get more faculty, which we fundamentally at this moment believe they are peripheral, right? There are situations out there where many a time, because of the business school model at this juncture, because of the fact that there are certain parameters that we are catering to, right? It could be 1 or 2 different parameters. At times, we've looked at a certain possibly narrow approach to how we're recruiting faculty, right? If we are looking at AI or any such courses as being on the periphery, right? Leave alone AI and data science-based courses being peripheral, not necessarily being part of the core. Look at a lot of the conversation and debates that take place during hiring within business schools when you talk about climate and sustainability, right? Now, climate and sustainability and AI and data sciences and technology getting integrated into the core will be fundamental, and that requires a change in our approach to how we view even faculty hiring, how we view faculty training. Currently, I don't see that much incentive for faculties to reskill or upskill themselves and trying to gain or gather more skills and knowledge and whatever else. And that's a big fundamental issue. For paucity of time and by instructions by Amitji, I'll just highlight curriculum rigidity, right? Once again, the whole model is the student comes in with a certain mindset, comes in with a certain approach to gaining what they gain at the end of those 2 years. and the student may not want to experiment as much as we would like them to experiment, right? A lot of them don't necessarily come from tech backgrounds. That's not a limitation anymore because of the nature of how career outcomes. A lot of people beyond tech are also preferred in the industry. I think the other issue also is infrastructure. Very few of us have the budget, the inclination, or the resources, and possibly the wherewithal to invest in high-end computing infrastructure, right? If you're going to talk about successfully being able to integrate artificial intelligence and whatever, and create the right kind of career outcomes, I think our ability to invest and manage high-end computing interface will be key, right? Once again, student preparedness. I think once again, within a month of coming into a business school, the student knows what he or she needs to do. Be able to get a certain, CGPA, being able to get what they would like out of the courses, be able to skim certain things, right? So the student preparedness and the behavior also is fundamentally something that we'll have to be able to work on. Now, so from my perspective, what do I look at? I look at 3 zones, being someone who's looking at strategy, whatever, right now. There are 3 zones, red, amber, and green. What's in the green zone? The green zone is industry awareness. That's clear. The industry has moved ahead. The industry is expecting something from us. Are we able to do it at this moment of time? That's something that we have to introspect. Career outcomes are also in the green zones. We already notice a transition. We already notice a change. We notice a transformation in what they're looking at. In the yellow zone is student readiness, or amber zone is cultural perception, and of course red zone. And red is very important for us to consider. If you're talking about being able to achieve the kind of outcomes we do beyond having a conversation on this right now, will be your ability to create the infrastructure, right? And faculty preparedness. So thank you so much for your time. And did I stick to what I...
Thank you.